Just going to let you behind the curtain today to my biggest real estate blunder exposed. It's pretty bad, and it's a loss of a lot of money, which I'm not happy about, but things happen over 30 years of real estate investing, and this is what happened to me. I'm Jonathan Green. I run an off-market property acquisition company called Streamline Properties. And before that, I had just been investing my whole life. I learned everything from my dad. But one time, actually at the same time, I got caught in two terrible deals, but it was 2008. It kind of wasn't my fault, but I'm going to explain to you why it was my fault and why you don't want to be this guy, the guy that I was in this deal. So I bought a primary residence in Sarasota, Florida when I was living there. And it was a great house. Ended up putting a back house with a 3-car garage and a unit over top. Did a lagoon style pool in the middle. So probably moved the value at the time from somewhere around 700-ish when we bought it to somewhere up in the million-ish range. But the back house cost a lot. I think I ended up with landscaping and all these crazy things. I probably spent about 500 grand or so. The house was amazing. I mean, that's definitely my favorite house. But things happen. Was getting divorced. We agreed we were going to all move back to New York. So we put the house on the market. I was living in a different house at the time, expecting that the house would sell. And here's what happened. So I thought that it was worth a lot more than it was. And I was dead set on telling my realtor, I wasn't licensed at the time, that I know what I'm doing. We want to get $2.3 million for this house. Looking back, there were probably no comps at all that matched it out. The house was definitely an anomaly. It was better than most things on the market. And when I went to list it, the bottom had not dropped out of the market yet. So it goes on the market. In the first week, we get an offer of 1.4 million. So to crazy me at the time, it's like 900,000 over what I want. I, of course, react terribly. Like, that's offensive. So ridiculous. Absolutely not. No counter. Basically, go jump off a bridge. It was me who should have jumped off a bridge. That was going to be the best offer I ever got. And literally 2 weeks later, the bottom of the world dropped out and the economic downturn started. And I had that and another house to sell at the same time in Florida. Memories. It ended up sitting on the market for probably a year or more. We took it off the market, put it back on the market, switched realtors, which I never should have done. But I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't know what it was like on the side of a realtor when you have an unrealistic seller. The house was that good. I'm not saying it was worth 2.3, but it was definitely an amazing house. I don't even know what the final amount was because I just don't want to click through to look, but it was well less than $1 million. So from my perspective of 2.3, which is what I thought it was, I probably sold it for like in the eights or something, $1.5 million less than what I thought it was worth. Definitely at a huge loss too, because I'm sure I had, at least 1.2 in it. It's a blunder. It hurt. And I got burned on another house there at the same time. Not as bad, but that's what happens in a downturn. Fortunately, the reason that I survived is because I had been building passive investment cycles my whole life. I had plenty of properties that were holding, getting rental income, but it wasn't pleasant. It wasn't pleasant. And fortunately, chosen right on the buys, but picked the wrong time to sell. And if I just took the deal at 1.4, everything probably would have been different, But that's it. The moral of the story is don't be like me in that scenario. And I've learned to scale myself out of that and really know the value now that I've been a licensed agent for almost 8 years. I look at the comps, I understand them, and I don't think that I have a unicorn. If there was a unicorn, maybe this was it, but I don't think it was like the unicorn. So if you're selling a property, you have to look at the comps and really believe like which one of these looks like mine. And if yours is better than all the comps, it's not that much better like I thought. I was an idiot. I was going through a lot of things trying to figure out how to get the most money out of a beautiful property that I really loved. But I just blew it, and there's nothing else to it. And you have to be able to own up to your errors in real estate investing, or you're never going to get anywhere. And if you think you're not going to have one of these, hopefully you don't have one at this magnitude because it was bad. It was really bad. But you're going to have one where you make a blunder or something is on you because you think it's worth more and you reject your first offer. The first offer really is a lot of times the best offer, especially if they're coming in hot. Market cycles have changed and it's pretty busy out there right now. So you can do really well on your listings, but especially right now, if you put your house on the market and it doesn't sell in the first week, you're priced too high or something else. But whatever the something else means, the price is still too high. So if you're across from a graveyard, but you think it's the best house in the neighborhood, because you're across from a graveyard, it's priced too high. If you're across from middle school and other people don't like it, you're priced too high for being across from middle school. Because the market's this hot. It's not a mistake if you don't get an offer, you're probably just priced a little too high. I was obviously priced exorbitantly high, even at the time frame. And then when you put the complete market bottom dropout, I got burned. I hope you don't get burned like that, but I wanted to let you know. And that is my biggest real estate blunder exposed. What an idiot. See ya.